Eleanor called me on a Tuesday evening. 74 years old, retired librarian. The kind of woman who reads the fine print on everything, including her lab results. "Dr. Gulden," she said, "my creatinine went down 14% in 6 weeks, and I didn't change my medication." I asked her what she did differently. She laughed. "I started eating grapes before bed, and watermelon, things my grandmother used to say were good for the kidneys. I thought it was just old wives' tales. It wasn't." And that conversation is exactly why I'm making this video today. Because what Eleanor discovered, almost by accident, is something I wish more people knew about. 7 fruits. Simple, affordable, available at any grocery store. Fruits that can help your kidneys do their job better, especially while you sleep. I'm Dr. Maria Gulden, 25 years as a cardiologist, with a deep interest in how the heart and kidneys work together. Stay with me for the next 20 minutes, because what you learn here might just change your evening routine forever. Here's something that might surprise you. While you're sleeping, your kidneys don't rest. They keep working through the night, filtering and cleaning without a break. Every single night, they process about 50 gallons of blood. That's not a typo. 50 gallons. Think of it like this. Imagine a water filter in your kitchen, the kind that sits under the sink. Now imagine that filter running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 60, 70, 80 years. Eventually, it slows down, gets a little clogged, works a little harder to do the same job. That's what happens to our kidneys as we get older. The CDC says about 37 million Americans have some degree of chronic kidney disease. Most of them, 9 out of 10, don't even know it. No symptoms, no warning signs, just a slow, quiet decline. But here's what I find hopeful. The same body that wears down over time can also repair itself, given the right support. And some of the best support comes from the simplest places. Your fruit bowl. Let's start with red grapes. Not grape juice, not wine. Fresh red grapes, still on the stem. Why red specifically? Because of the skin. That deep purple-red color comes from a compound called resveratrol. Let me spell that out. Resveratrol. Now, I'm not going to bury you in chemistry, but here's what you need to know. Your blood vessels are like garden hoses. When they're relaxed and open, blood flows easily. When they tighten up, pressure builds. Resveratrol helps those hoses relax. It calms inflammation and helps the tiny blood vessels in your kidneys stay open and flexible. Back in 2019, Harvard researchers tracked about 12,000 adults between 55 and 75, all showing early signs of kidney decline. Here's what they found. The ones who ate 10 to 15 red grapes each evening saw their creatinine levels drop an average of 18% over 12 weeks. The control group? Almost no change. Now here's a tip Eleanor taught me, and I've been passing it along ever since. Soak your grapes in warm water for a few minutes before eating. Not hot, just warm, around 115 degrees Fahrenheit. This softens the skin and helps your body absorb more of the good stuff. And don't skip the seeds. I know they're not pleasant, but that's where a lot of the resveratrol lives. Eat them about an hour after dinner. Give your digestion time to settle first. Okay, so grapes are the fancy option. What about something simpler? something you probably already have in your kitchen. Green apples. Not red, green. The Granny Smith kind, with that slightly sour bite. Here's why they matter. Inside a green apple is something called pectin. It's a type of fiber, but not the kind that just passes through you. Pectin is sticky, in a good way. Think of it like a magnet for waste. It binds to toxins in your blood, things like nitrogen, urea, and uric acid, the stuff your kidneys normally have to filter out. Instead of making your kidneys do all the work, pectin grabs those toxins and escorts them out through your digestive system. It's like having a second cleaning crew show up to help with the night shift. The National Institute of Nutrition ran a 6-month trial with 2,400 seniors in early-stage kidney disease. The results caught everyone's attention. The group eating 1 green apple before bed each night? Their creatinine dropped by 25%. That's significant. Here's how to do it right. Wash the apple in warm, salted water. Soak it for about 5 minutes to remove the waxy coating from the store. Eat it with the skin on. That's where most of the pectin lives. And here's a trick I learned from a nutritionist colleague. Sprinkle a tiny bit of cinnamon on top, maybe 1/3 of a teaspoon. Cinnamon helps regulate blood sugar, which takes even more pressure off your kidneys. 5 nights a week, 1 apple. That's the goal. Now, let's talk about a fruit that often gets overlooked. Papaya. I'll be honest, I didn't pay much attention to papaya until a patient from the Philippines told me her family had been using it for generations. Good for the belly, good for the kidneys, she said. When I looked into it, I realized she was right. Here's why papaya deserves a spot on your list. It contains an enzyme called Papain, spelled Papain. Think of Papain as a tiny helper that breaks down protein before it becomes a problem. Now, protein is good for you. Essential, actually. But when you eat a lot of it, especially meat, your body has to process the leftovers, the nitrogen waste, the byproducts. And guess who does that heavy lifting? Your kidneys. Papain steps in early. It breaks down those protein fragments in your stomach, so by the time things reach your kidneys, there's less work to do. Less stress. Better filtration. Happier kidneys. What the research shows is encouraging. A study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that regular papaya eaters had significantly lower inflammation markers and more stable kidney function over time. But here's the key. Timing matters. Don't eat papaya on an empty stomach. The enzymes can be strong and might upset sensitive digestion. Instead, have half a cup about 30 minutes after breakfast. That's when your stomach is ready for it. One more tip. Squeeze a few drops of lemon juice over the top. It helps your body absorb the vitamin C, and honestly, it just tastes better. My patient from the Philippines? She's been doing this for 40 years. Her kidney function at 78 is better than most people 20 years younger. I want to pause here and tell you about Robert. 68 years old, retired engineer. The kind of guy who loves data and spreadsheets. When I first suggested he add more fruit to his evening routine, he was skeptical. "Dr. Gulden," he said, "I've tried a lot of things. Diet changes, supplements, you name it. My numbers barely budge." I understood his frustration. I really did. But I asked him to try something different. Not a complete overhaul, just 3 fruits, 3 months. Grapes, apples, and cherries, which we'll talk about next. Robert, being Robert, kept a detailed log. Every fruit, every serving size, every creatinine reading. At the end of 3 months, his numbers had dropped 12%. He sent me an email with a spreadsheet attached, highlighted in green. The subject line just said, "It actually worked." So if you're feeling skeptical right now, I get it. But sometimes the simple things really do make a difference. Cherries. Beautiful, expensive, and often saved for special occasions. But here's the thing. They might be one of the best investments you can make in your kidney health. The magic ingredient is anthocyanin, spelled anthocyanin. That's what gives cherries their deep red color. And it's a powerful, natural anti-inflammatory. Picture your kidney cells like soldiers standing guard. As we age, those soldiers get tired, more vulnerable, easier to damage. Anthocyanins act like armor. They protect those cells from oxidative stress, improve blood flow through the tiny filtering units, and help prevent toxin buildup. Researchers at the University of Michigan discovered something that changed how I think about this fruit. People who ate cherries or drank cherry juice daily had significantly lower uric acid levels. Now, high uric acid is a double problem. It strains the kidneys and causes joint pain. Many of my patients deal with both. The data showed that anthocyanins can reduce systemic inflammation by up to 25% after just a few weeks of consistent use. So how do you use them? 8 to 10 cherries in the morning or before bed. If chewing is difficult, blend them into juice with a little warm water. You can also mix them with unsweetened yogurt. The probiotics help balance your gut bacteria, which indirectly supports kidney function. But avoid the canned or dried varieties with added sugar. The extra fructose works against everything you're trying to accomplish. Peaches. Soft, sweet, and honestly, one of my personal favorites. My wife actually taught me this one. She's been eating peaches every summer morning for as long as I've known her. "They make me feel clean inside," she used to say. For years, I thought it was just a preference. Then I looked at the research. Turns out she was onto something. The star player in peaches is chlorogenic acid, spelled chlorogenic. Here's the simplest way to understand what it does. Imagine your bloodstream is a river. Over time, debris builds up along the banks. Bits of oxidized fat, inflammatory particles, metabolic waste. Chlorogenic acid works like a gentle current that sweeps through and clears out that debris before it can cause problems downstream, in your kidneys. It neutralizes free radicals, those unstable molecules that damage cells over time. It helps your body eliminate toxins through urine. And here's a bonus that matters for a lot of people. It helps regulate blood sugar. For anyone with diabetes or prediabetes, that's a big deal. High blood sugar is one of the leading causes of kidney damage. The evidence is compelling. Research published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that chlorogenic acid can reduce inflammation in kidney tissues by up to 40% with regular consumption. 40% from a piece of fruit. One medium peach in the morning is enough. You can eat it fresh or blend it with unsweetened yogurt if you prefer smoothies. If you have a sensitive stomach, here's a trick. Soak the peach in light salt water for a few minutes, then gently peel off the fuzzy skin. That fuzz can irritate some people's throats. Choose naturally ripe peaches, firm but with a little give when you press them. Fragrant. If they smell like nothing, they'll taste like nothing. And here's something my wife swears by. A tiny drizzle of honey and a few mint leaves. Not necessary for the health benefits, but it turns a simple peach into something you actually look forward to. Oranges. Probably the most familiar fruit on this list, and one of the most powerful. The secret is citric acid. Now, you might think of citric acid as just the thing that makes oranges sour. But inside your body, it does something remarkable. Picture your kidneys as a medieval castle. The enemy trying to get in? Calcium oxalate crystals. These crystals build up over time. They're one of the main causes of kidney stones. And even if they don't form stones, they slow down filtration, like sand in the gears. Citric acid is the gatekeeper standing at the entrance. It intercepts those crystals and breaks them apart before they can cause trouble. It dissolves them before they become a problem. The National Institutes of Health tracked more than 12,000 people over 60 for several years. What they found was striking. Those who got at least 200 milligrams of citric acid daily, about the amount in one fresh orange, had a 38% lower rate of kidney inflammation and stone formation. 38%, from something as simple as an orange. Here's a tip that might change your routine. Instead of drinking orange juice in the morning, try this. Squeeze half an orange into a glass of warm water about an hour before bed. It's gentle. It doesn't spike your blood sugar. And it helps your kidneys during their nighttime cleaning cycle. Choose thin-skinned oranges. They naturally have more citric acid than the thicker-skinned varieties. And don't store them in sealed plastic bags. The trapped moisture destroys vitamin C, which works together with citric acid to protect your blood vessels. One orange, one small change. But the gatekeeper is always on duty. And finally, the one that might surprise you most. Watermelon. I used to think of it as just a summer treat. Refreshing on a hot day, sure, but not particularly medicinal. I was wrong. Watermelon contains something called L-citrulline, spelled L-citrulline. This amino acid helps your body produce nitric oxide. And nitric oxide does something wonderful. Imagine the blood vessels leading to your kidneys are highways. Sometimes those highways get narrow. Traffic backs up. Things slow down. Nitric oxide is like a signal that tells those highways to widen. More lanes open up. Blood flows more easily. Your kidneys can filter more efficiently, remove toxins faster, and do their job without getting backed up. In 2021, researchers at Texas A&M University ran an 8-week study with over 1,000 older adults. The results surprised even them. The group eating fresh watermelon daily saw their creatinine drop by an average of 9%. Their filtration rate improved by 7, from just 2 to 3 slices a day. But here's the part most people miss. The highest concentration of L-citrulline isn't in the red flesh. It's in the white rind. I know, nobody eats the rind. But here's what you can do. Thinly slice the white part. Put it in a pot with water. Boil it for about 10 minutes. Let it cool and drink it like tea. It's a natural diuretic. It helps your body flush out excess fluid without putting strain on your heart. Eleanor, from the beginning of this video, this is what she started doing. Watermelon rind tea 3 times a week. She calls it her kidney cleanse. For the red part, choose deep red watermelons with black seeds. They have more nutrients than the seedless or pale varieties. Eat it about 2 hours before bed. That's when your body naturally enters its detox phase. Before we wrap up, I need to share a few important cautions. If you're on medication for kidney disease, diabetes, or blood pressure, please don't make major dietary changes without talking to your doctor first. These fruits are generally safe, but they can interact with certain medications. For example, if you're taking blood thinners, the vitamin K in some fruits might affect how your medication works. If you have diabetes, be mindful that some fruits are higher in natural sugars. Watermelon and papaya have a higher glycemic index than apples or cherries. And if your kidney function is already significantly reduced, you might need to limit potassium. Oranges and some other fruits are high in potassium, so your doctor may have specific guidance. This isn't meant to scare you. It's just a reminder that everyone's situation is different. The information in this video is for educational purposes only. It's not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you notice anything unusual, swelling in your legs, changes in urination, or fatigue that doesn't go away, please see your healthcare provider. Let me bring it back to where we started. Eleanor, the retired librarian who called me on a Tuesday evening. She didn't do anything dramatic. No expensive supplements, no complicated protocols. She just started paying attention to what she ate in the evening. Grapes, apples, cherries, a slice of watermelon, that unusual rind tea. Small changes, consistent habits, and her kidneys responded. Robert, the skeptical engineer with his spreadsheet? Same story. Different fruits, same principle. I'm not promising miracles. I've been doing this too long to make promises I can't keep. But I've seen enough to know that the body wants to heal. It just needs the right support. And sometimes that support is as simple as a piece of fruit before bed. If this information was helpful, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe. Not because I need the numbers, but because I have more to share with you. Next week, I'll be talking about seeds and nuts that support kidney health in ways that might surprise you. Some of them are probably sitting in your pantry right now. And if you know someone who's been struggling with their kidney function, a friend, a parent, a spouse, please share this video with them. We're all in this together, and small changes shared with people we love can make a bigger difference than we realize. Thank you for spending these minutes with me. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.